Welcome back, T4 lovers. I'll tell you a little story about how I ended up this old Mercedes, right? Quite a nice little backdrop there. I do like that shape, that Mercedes, that E-Class estate. You know, it's got a modern look, but it's got like it's going to be, you got that 330i BMW Tourer, yeah? And you do little touches to it, yeah, and they just look right. But everyone's got these Audis. What's the other one they've got? The BMWs, yeah, but people don't go for the Mercedes. But you see that sort of stance they get with the 330 diesel Tourers or the Audis, you know. But I'm going to do a little touches to that. Well, the story is with this, right? A good friend of mine from work, another rotor driver. He's a pretty good operator, yeah. He says to me, he says, Joe, I've got this old Mercedes. It was my dad's, like, he's given up driving. He says, do you want it? It was more or less, it was sort of given to me as a gift. But obviously it was a few pound notes, but, you know, I spent a couple of quid getting it through the MOT, but you're gonna follow me. I'm gonna do slow little bits to it. But it's such a handy motor. Yeah. They're not bad on the mileage either for what it is. The trouble is that tow bar underneath there, yeah, tow bar and it's stuck. So I can't be asked to look at it, because if I can't get it to move, and that's when I start getting hydraulics, or I get the fault, you know, the rotor around it, and I get the hook round it, and I start yanking at it. Then the next minute, no, the back end of the motor's gone, and I'm having a tantrum. But no, I'm slowly going to do this thing up. The first things first is the windows are getting done, yeah, they're getting tinted. Yeah, they're getting tinted. I don't like that. Once it's tinted, I don't know what's happening with them wheels. I know which direction it's going. I would like 18s look all right, yeah, but I don't want to muck around with suspension, because the roads up in Scotland and in the Highlands are unbelievable. With my Skyline, when I had it up here, and the roads, because obviously you squirt fuel through the injectors, and I seem to squirt a lot of fuel through injectors. So what happens is you're hitting a pothole doing 50 mile an hour plus, and then all your shocks burst with them coilovers. But that's the way the car is, and that's the way Skyline is. But they actually, the best option I found for sort of, I don't know, driving through the Highlands or any roads, is just like sort of just lowered springs on a standard strut, and it just seems to be an all-rounder, like. But it depends on what you do. But so what I'm going to do is have to fill them arches with some I think 20s look a bit stupid, but then if I got the 9, I'm going to go 19 deep dish, I think. And then it's got a stainless exhaust, twin pipe exhaust on it all the way through. It's got stainless, but the trouble is it needs to open the old girl up a bit. I don't want it hacking diesel out the back of it. I don't want it just like, I want it matched properly. So I don't want that black smoke. It's good. Oh, don't get me wrong, that's mental, but that's not for me. I just want something that's tuned right, and it's using every bit of diesel, and it's burning it just at the right thing, and you will get a bit of a thing, but not like, yeah. I see drag cars the other day, pickups in America, yeah, and there was one so tuned, there was hardly a whisper of diesel coming out of it, and the turbo wrought, they just tuned it just right, like it used every bit, they just mapped it to use every bit. And the stuff that comes out of it is just stuff that ain't burnt off, but they've tuned it that well, and it was one, I think it was one of the quickest pickups in America. That's not the old build. They ain't sussed out that I'm an Englishman and I'm doing this, is it? So the trouble is, I'm too near that pub garden, and they're thinking, my God, there's an Englishman over there in a Merc, and he's laughing to himself. You know, we better phone the police. And I think he's English. Yeah. And there's 6 of them. That's what happened. Yeah, so you're going to follow me on this. Oh yeah, by the way, See, I always thought it's unlucky to change. That's a suspension, isn't it? No, that's not. It's the security car coming back for the Harris panels. So, yeah, suspension on it. I'll tell you, that's a good thing. That air ride, I think that's cool. It's just so expensive, isn't it? But that just saves a lot of hassle, because you can tweak them as well to be like stiff or whatever height you want, or just sit it on the ground so you don't see daylight. I think that's cool. That's what I want to do with my T4, but old Red's getting a bit hammered, mate. You don't realise what I've had the boy about 3 years, and he never stops, but he never gets a spanner either. There's actually a friend of mine. You can't believe the mileage in between I do in between servicing. You just can't believe the amount of mileage I do. I said, mate, the thing's used every day. It goes all over the country. So it never misses a beat. Oh, it's like leaks diesel out of its pump. You know, you start it up and he's having a little wee. If you open the bonnet of old Red, you give him a little wiggle on the shaft of the pump, and he stops. And that's quite happy. He's quite happy then. But, I've got a handful of them little plant nappy things. I mop it up with that and just chuck it under the dash. It catches all the diesel. Them little plant nappy things I've got. They're quite good, like little big tissue things. They soak it right up. So you don't leave a mess or nothing. You know what I mean? But I remember I was on one of my videos. A bloke said, "Oh, you're leaking something under there." I said, "Oh yeah." I said, "It's a diesel leak." And she, "You want to get that seen to?" I said, "Yeah." And she said, "How long's that been leaking for?" I said, "Well, about 2.5 years." But I live with it. That's T4 lovers, isn't it? That's what you do. I'll tell you now, mate. Ever since I've had that thing, that side door's given me nothing but jet. Nothing but jet. What a lovely evening. Not a breath of wind, but apparently we've got light drizzle in the morning and thunder and lightning in the afternoon. I said, "Right, Willie," I said, "that's cabbing up then, is it?" He said, "What?" I said, I ain't working under in that steel building and all that, and it's not even earth to the ground, mate." I said, "I'll be sitting in the car, mate." And that security guard shoots. A very nice, pleasant chap. But you see his dog. He had it trained as a guard dog in Germany. He's from over that way anyway, so he probably wouldn't think that anyone over here could do it. But see that dog? It sits there. It's his baby. Honest to God, it's his baby. Yeah, the love the bloke's got for that dog. It's a female. It's only young, and the love the dog's got for him. But you see, the thing is, he said, "Oh, that dog," he said, "I only have to say something, or you go near me, and there's a different thing, because the dog's playing with its owner, but it's always having a quick look at you. He's always watching you, but you think he's playing, but he's always watching you." I think, well, I look at that dog in the eye, I thought, sod that, that's gonna hurt, isn't it? You know, and I'm probably only asking the bloke for a lighter, you know, or passing something to him, or a cigarette or something, and the dog's going to take my bloody arm off. So I'd rather keep my distance. Yeah. I tried giving it steak the other day, and he went. I thought he was going to hit me with his mag light. You know. Oh my God. But he's a good guy. You know. There's a lot of lorry drivers stay here as well, and people working away. But that's the way. There's a lot of people that do this. Yeah. As well. There's a lot of people that sleep out in cars and vans, and look at the homeless. You know, they all do it. It's all a way of life, isn't it? Oh my God, Jesus, it always does it, yeah? This is why I need this bloody GoPro. Oh, good. Oh, see, this is what you call. I'm not editing this, yeah? I can't be asked to do it. You know, it's bad enough me talking to myself, trying to work out what I'm saying. Yeah, so you're going to watch me muck around with this Mercedes, or what I do, and you know, But at least I know it's a little donk on the wheel and it's just got a little vibration. But the trouble is, it's annoying where it starts to vibrate, because it sort of does it at, starts doing about 63 mile an hour and it goes up to 70. Well, if you're on a motorway and it starts to drum, and you think, you know, you can't really go over the speed to see if it stops. So you've got to find a happy medium, and it's about, what can I put up with? At 67, it starts to make a different tone, which is more, you can sort of drown it out with just putting about 2 inches down on your window. You can live with that. Not as bad as some of the wheel bearings I've had, yeah. My dad said to me once, he said, "Did you sort that wheel bearing out?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "How'd you sort that out?" I said, "You fix it?" I said, "No." He said, "Well, how'd you sort it out?" I said, "Here we go." What the hell was that behind the bushes? I said, "I'll just put bigger, better stereo in my car, Dad." He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, it drowns out the noise, so I had to get, you know, my stupid radio, you know, you could really hear the wheel bearing. So I put a bigger stereo in and just turned it up louder." Believe it or not, I got 6,000 miles out of that wheel bearing, and when I bought the car, it was making the noise when I bought it. I got over 6,000 miles. If I was driving towards my dad's house out in the country, when I give it a bit of, you know, a bit of techno on a stereo light, had it bang, 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 bang. Next minute I had a little wobble on the steering, and the sort of wheel broke up. Bearing just pooed itself. But I was very impressed. You know, it's a good Nissan bearing. Yeah, I was very impressed. Yeah, I do like my Japanese stuff, mate. Japanese stuff, yeah. Japanese cars, JDM, I love. But I'll tell you what, it's a love for all cars. I've got passion for all cars. I'm stupid, yeah. I was at the mother-in-law's and father-in-law's a few years ago. I was sitting outside the house with the skylight. Daddy cool, yeah. This council estate, right? This chap pulled out in a Morris Minor. And he had one of them visor things on the front, and the chrome sort of eyebrow things on the headlights, and I fell in love with it. I said, "Look at that, look at that." He says, "You can have a go if you like." I said, "Have a go." I drove it around that block, mate, and I'll tell you what, it's got into gears and just no speed in it, but it was just great, just the sodding about you had to do with it, yeah. Even just to do the window up or find where to put the key in, it was great. And I smiled just as much in that as I did the Skyline. What is stupid? And I said, "Do you want to sell it?" He said, "Well, I can't really sell it because it hasn't got the original engine. It's got them." I thought, I'm not bothered, mate. I just like the experience. And when I worked for Costains I worked for Costains, and this bloke used to work in the marine side, the fabrication yard. I used to do the welding and that. There's a bloke there, and he said he's got his 2 CV. It's 2 CV Citroen, and he went across the desert with it, right across the desert. I thought, full of put. Where am I? Yeah, he says, we'll go on this rally with it, with a load of other 2 CVs, and we go across, I think it was Sahara or something, I'm not sure, but I can remember it, not thinking, yeah, right, mate, I've heard everything, yeah. And I suppose it's got roll cage in it and all that, yeah, and all this stuff. He says, "Yes, it has, you know." He says, "I'll do it with my daughter." And he said to me, he says, "I've known you for a while, Joe." This is before I was with my wife. There was nothing in it. He said, "I'd like you to co-drive with my daughter. You take the other one. I'd like you to drive one." And I thought, "No, you're full of shit, you know." He said, "I'll tell you what. I'll bring this Citroen." You know, he told me that the gearbox was knackered. He had to dig it, push it, pull it, had it in rivers. And I thought, yeah, 2 CV Citroen. I said, "You're full of rubbish, right?" And he said, "No, seriously, that was what it was." Because you hear everything on sites. Anyone just gives you that much jip. You just think, yeah, man. All right. Next day, there's this 2 CV Citroen, right? It was like built for the Sahara type shit, yeah. It had sponsors all over it, right? He opened the door. I was just gobsmacked. He opened the passenger door, right? It's got the roll cage in it, a proper 2 CV Citroen made up for, because he was a fabricator, he'd done all the work himself. And I thought, my God. And you even look in the footwells, and he still had, it was still handfuls of sand where he got it out of the desert. I went, mate. And then he said to me, he said, "Well, what I'd like you to do," he said, "Do you want to go on it?" I'll tell you what a thing to drive. It's like the gear stick comes out the dash. And you go around the corner, it just leans, but it just leans so much, and oh mate, you got to be brave. And then I met my wife, and I never got to do that, but that was, yeah, that was an amazing car. What a lovely evening. My mate I see on YouTube's Camping with Steve, this Canadian bloke. He does stealth camping, vans, cars, you know, similar sort of stuff, you know, but he does it out in Canada. And it was 5 years ago, the video, when he was like, when he first started. If only he knew what he knew now, gee, he would have took a different path. Yeah, check Steve out and find his story out and his videos and what he does camp. Oh, he's brilliant. He don't muck around, this Steve, Camping with Steve. He goes out to a camping place and you expect him. You expect all him. He says, "I'm no Bear Grylls. I'm not going to start mucking around, rubbing sticks together, right?" And I'm thinking, he's got a pile of logs, and he puts them in this, wherever it is, just piles them up, pile of logs. And he says, "I ain't no Bear Grylls," and he just gets this gas bottle out, boof, and he's got his big blowtorch, and he just holds the blowtorch in the pile of this, and that's the way he goes. He does some lovely cooking. He does basic. He cooks the same as me. It's brilliant. There's no mucking around. Just rip, bish, bash, bosh. So I'm gonna end up going soon because I need to finish watching the rest of this Josh Blue. That last one I found on YouTube. Oh my God, bloke cerebral palsy. It's brilliant. I've been watching quite a lot of him, you know, but this is a lot of his new stuff, and oh, he's just getting better and better. He's just amazing. When there's something he said in it, and he's just brilliant. Another plane over there, just above them trees, flashing away. You've got a red light going. Yeah, it's a lovely night. But another good thing about this, I know I love my T4. I love camping in my T4. But sometimes that T4, right, I love it. I don't mind, right. I'll put up with it. I love him, you know. He's not a fast thing, yeah. But that's what old VW is meant to do, so I can get away with it, yeah, because it looks tatty, right. But it's hard work, especially when you're driving it constant for 6.5 hours, you know, and you're on nonsense roads, and it hasn't got the minerals to overtake, say, like a tractor and trailer. Right, you get them on the main haul roads and they're doing 45 mile an hour, these tractors. You slow down behind them, you try to overtake them with a 900 non-turbo, that's a police chopper, isn't it? Oh, no. I hope he's mind his own business. That's what you get in Glasgow, isn't it? Helicopters and that. Once they're on you, mate, you're buggered, aren't you? Not unless you're Fogo Baggins, whatever it is, and pulls that ring off. Lord of the Rings. There's rumours have it there's a new Mad Max film out coming, or they're going to think about doing it. What a lovely evening. But tomorrow could be all different, you know what I mean? And I'll be sitting there moaning like hell. Don't do it. But like I say with this car here, because the main thing is the black windows. You know, I can be parked anywhere and you just do that sort of stealth look. But the way you do it with black windows, yeah. And what you normally do is that you don't close the front windows, yeah. You don't start putting blankets over the front, because then they automatically know. See, when a dark interior, you just have just behind the headrest, you just put a little bit there, and you're in with the black windows. As long as you ain't got the torch on or something like that and they can see through. But then you learn to do it, like, you know, and I've been doing it for years. This is quite a practical motor for this, and the beauty thing is with this, right, I still do the motorway speeds, but you can get up to it a lot quicker. And it's a lot smoother to drive. You just hit it on cruise control and just sit there. But I can't do it at the moment because this little vibrating wheel. It's not bad, or else I wouldn't drive it. But the thing is, I need to locate what it was. I thought it's because the tyre was old. It might have just It weren't the bloke. It was brilliant. This bloke, what's it called? Gorables Tyres. The Gorables in Glasgow, yeah. Go there, magic lot. I turned up. What a lovely workshop we had. Everything was beautiful, all nice and neat. Little scissor lifts for the cars. It was just immaculate in there. Go in the office, all them neon lights, dark blue. It just looked smart. This bloke come out of the office and he says, "Oh," he says, "there's nothing wrong with your tyre, mate." Isn't there? No, he says, "You say you had it balanced?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, let's just check," he says. "Let's just check and see if this is balanced right." He said, "Who the hell balanced this?" So I gave him the name. He said, "Load of cowboys, mate." He says, "Well, it's balanced the wheel right enough. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But didn't he tell you there was a dink in it? Like, because it sort of looked like it was a dunk, 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 you know?" No. He said, "Load of cowboys." And I put the wheel back on, and he said, "Them wheel nuts should be slightly longer, mate." He said, "But they're all right. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just the top's knitted." I said, "Well, I didn't know that, mate." I said, "Do you want anything for your trouble?" He says, "No, mate." He said, "No, mate." I said, "What? Don't you even want a bacon roll?" "No, it wouldn't even take a bacon roll." I said, "Oh, it's brilliant," I said, "because most places I go, right, they just go, right, just put a new tyre on it, see you later, mate." You know, but no, he didn't. He actually was more he was literally, legitimately bothered about the customer. He was, you know, he was a busy man, but no, he just said, "Right, that's it. No, follow me. Straighten your car up." Magic. So I said, "Do anything you do, just give us a review on me." I will do. I've done it on my channel. Yeah, I'll definitely go back. I've had places I took my cars and that, and I just took my eyes out, mate. That's a different story, but we all agreed we weren't going to mention it. We had to shake hands and a bit of paper signed. It's only because I, you know, never mind. You learn your lesson, but I've got a trusty mechanic now. He's in the art of voodoo and black magic when it comes to cars. He's just that clever, mate. And electrical stuff, yeah. What he can do with electrics, oh, you wouldn't believe it. And his brother's just as bad. Yeah, you put them lot on Scrap Heap Challenge, them barley pickers and all the rest of them ain't even got a look in, yeah. One of the brothers, he knows how to hit things with a hammer to loosen things. You know, he's got an amazing thing he does with a hammer. You think just hitting something with a hammer, you know, you've got what he does with a hammer with steel and stuff. It's just amazing. I said, "How'd you learn that?" He says, "Doing everything wrong, boy." He said, "I had to teach myself." So how do you teach yourself that shit? Well, I tried fixing my stereo. I want to play a bit of drum and bass, and the tray got stuck out, and it started making horrible noises. So I just give it a crunch, and that was that. So it started making horrible noises at me. So I got the old fork out of the kitchen drawer and just dug it into the gap where the CD goes into the multi-charger, and I just started digging at the noise. Because these Mercedes, this dashboard's quite, and you know, they're built. You know, it's not like an old T4. Just get a corner and go rip, and you think, "Oh, that's right, just shove it back." You know, you've got to be delicate with these. I try to be, yeah. My mechanics told me, "Don't touch anything, though." My diesel 90, I wanted to do it for weeks. "Don't you dare touch it." But no, I'll speak to you later.